Good day, this is Maria Kovaleva, and today I will be talking about self-activation. It's when you activate whatever resources you have in yourself when other tools are not available. Why I want to talk about it? Because I had a beautiful 1 hour conversation. It started like 12 minutes recording for Marilyn's podcast, but then we talked about peace and how to things more, and what my realization was that the minimum steps, when you know your minimum steps you can take, or the minimum space you can move in, it gives you more self autonomy or self-confidence that you at least you can do this. And of course, for different persons it's a different set of movements or a different perception of the space, of course, and it's not something that cannot be changed. It can be changed. You can expand your space of comfort movements. But for now, what do you have? You have your body. You have your body in a relationship to other bodies, everybody. And actually in English, if you notice, you don't say everybody's, but you say everybody, like one thing. You have you and you have everybody else. So it's very aligned with the law of one, that we are one. Anyway, so what can you do if you don't have any other resources? You can start with yourself. And why I wanted to talk about it, for example, I asked a person, what would you do? What would be your personal approach to elections? If you don't like how we are polarized and radicalized during these times, how people become not a skin color but red and blue, and how much tension it brings, right? What would be our personal approach to change the narrative, to change the pattern? And the answer was, well, I would make this possible that each candidate will have advertisement or something, that this person started to think how to change the external circumstances, which is a good thing, right? Somebody should do it. Somebody should do the environment. Somebody should make the environment more livable, more respecting our own uniqueness, and fostering interconnectedness, right? And maybe it's me, maybe it's you, maybe somebody. But today we are talking what can you do personally to change your reality in this way, right? How can I change the enormous amount of plastic going into the rivers, going to the oceans, and going into the birds and into our kids in the form of microplastics, non-plastic particles? How can I change it? It's a huge problem, and I don't have resources to change the system. I have resources to increase the awareness, talk about it, teach my kids about it, be an example. So what can I do? I can stop buying water in plastic. I can stop buying tomatoes in plastic. I can decrease plastic consumption, and I can do it, right? It might be not very convenient in in a sense that I am accustomed to think about it. But again, why I started to think that tomatoes in plastic are more convenient? Like, why? It's just like habit, which I developed through copying somebody, right? And so it's in my capacity to change it. That's the example how we can change other circumstances that we don't like in our lives. Start with your tiny steps and make it your identity, if you wish. Make it your minimum standard of living, not buying water in plastic bottles. And develop on it. When you feel comfortable doing it, and not comfortable, but it's the only way to get water, if not tap water, which is kind of not very clean. But how else? There are ways, right? Filters and all this stuff. But my point is that we should start with ourselves, and then create a relationship with others who do similar things, create the communities with like-minded individuals. But first, do your thing first, do your step first, make it your, get it in the comfort of doing it, and then move on. That's it. That's the only thing I wanted to share today.